I want you to think about what you ate yesterday, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner, your snacks. Because there is a very high probability that somewhere in that list, hidden inside something you consider completely normal, maybe even healthy, were one or more foods that are actively damaging your kidneys right now. And the reason this matters so urgently for adults over 65 is something that most people never hear until it is too late. Your kidneys are the silent workers of your body. They filter your entire blood supply approximately 40 times every single day. They regulate your blood pressure. They balance your electrolytes. They remove waste products that would otherwise accumulate to toxic levels. They produce hormones that control red blood cell production and bone health. And they do all of this without any sensation, without any pain signal, without any obvious warning, until they have lost a significant portion of their function. This silence is what makes kidney disease so dangerous for older adults. By the time most seniors notice any symptom, swelling in the legs, fatigue, changes in urination, confusion, their kidneys may already be functioning at 40 or 50% of normal capacity, sometimes less. I have been practicing internal medicine and nephrology, kidney medicine, for over 23 years. And the pattern I see in my clinic is consistent and heartbreaking. Seniors who have been eating carefully, following general health advice, avoiding obvious junk food, coming in with kidney function numbers that have been quietly declining for years. And when we trace back the dietary contributors, the same foods appear again and again. Foods that nobody warned them about. Foods that are sitting in almost every kitchen in America right now. In this video, I am going to reveal the 3 specific foods that are doing the most damage to senior kidneys, and why the damage is so much more serious after 65 than it would be in a younger adult. I will explain exactly what each food does inside your aging kidneys, and I will give you precise, practical alternatives for each one so that you do not have to sacrifice flavor, convenience, or the foods you love. Just the specific versions that are quietly working against you. Stay with me until the end, because the third food on this list is the most surprising. It is something that millions of seniors consume every single day, specifically because they believe it is good for their health. And the research showing what it does to aging kidneys is something most doctors simply do not have time to explain during a routine checkup. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, have you ever had your kidney function tested? And do you know what your EGFR number is, the key measure of kidney health? Type your answer below. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly what that number means and why tracking it is one of the most important things you can do after 65. Before I reveal the 3 foods, you need to understand what is happening to your kidneys as you age, because this biological context is what transforms these foods from minor concerns into genuine threats. Change 1. Nephron loss. Your kidneys contain approximately 1 million tiny filtering units called nephrons. Each nephron is a microscopic marvel, a coiled tube surrounded by a network of capillaries that filters waste from your blood with extraordinary precision. After 40, you begin losing nephrons at a rate of approximately 1% per year. By 65, the average adult has lost 25 to 30% of their nephron population. By 75, that loss can reach 40 to 50%. The remaining nephrons compensate by working harder, filtering a larger volume of blood to make up for their missing colleagues. This compensation is remarkably effective up to a point. But it also means that the remaining nephrons are under significantly greater stress than they were designed to handle. And anything that adds additional burden to these already overworked filtering units, certain foods, dehydration, certain medications, high blood pressure, pushes them closer to the threshold where they can no longer compensate. Change 2. Glomerular filtration rate decline. The glomerular filtration rate, EGFR, is the clinical measure of how efficiently your kidneys are filtering your blood. It is measured in milliliters per minute and represents the volume of blood your kidneys can clean in 60 seconds. At age 30, a healthy EGFR is approximately 100 to 120. By age 65, even in completely healthy adults with no kidney disease, the average EGFR has declined to approximately 70 to 80, a natural consequence of nephron loss. By 75, it may be 60 to 70. Why does this matter for diet? Because many foods contain substances that healthy young kidneys handle effortlessly, clearing them from the blood before they can accumulate. But aging kidneys with reduced filtration capacity cannot clear these substances as quickly or as completely. They accumulate. And at elevated concentrations, these same substances, completely harmless at 40, become damaging at 70. Change 3. Reduced renal reserve. Young adults have enormous renal reserve. the capacity to dramatically increase filtration rate in response to stress, high protein intake, illness, or dietary challenges. When a young person eats a very high protein meal, their kidneys temporarily increase filtration by 40 to 50% to handle the load. After 65, this renal reserve is dramatically reduced. Your kidneys are already working closer to their maximum capacity just to handle normal daily function. When you add a dietary challenge, a high sodium meal, a high protein day, excessive supplementation, there is significantly less buffer capacity to handle it. The kidneys are stressed more easily, recover more slowly, and sustain cumulative damage more readily. Now, let me walk you through the three foods. For each one, I will explain the specific damage mechanism, the clinical evidence behind it, and the practical alternatives that protect your kidneys without sacrificing your enjoyment of food. Food 1. Processed and deli meats, processed meats, including deli ham, turkey slices, bacon, sausages, hot dogs, salami, pepperoni, and canned meats, are one of the most consistent dietary findings in kidney disease research in older adults. And the damage mechanism involves three separate compounds that work together to create a cumulative assault on aging kidney tissue. The sodium problem, a single 2-ounce serving of deli turkey. The kind most people put in a sandwich contains approximately 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium. A few strips of bacon add another 400 to 500 milligrams. 2 slices of salami contribute another 500 milligrams. For an adult over 65, the recommended sodium limit for kidney protection is 1,500 milligrams per day, and many nephrologists recommend even lower for seniors with any signs of declining kidney function. What does excess sodium do to aging kidneys? High sodium intake directly elevates blood pressure, and sustained high blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney disease in older adults after diabetes. The increased pressure damages the delicate capillaries surrounding your nephrons, the tiny blood vessels through which filtration occurs. Once these capillaries are damaged, that nephron's filtration capacity is permanently reduced. A study published in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that adults over 65 who consumed more than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day showed a rate of kidney function decline that was 36% faster than those who stayed within recommended limits, even after controlling for blood pressure medication use and baseline kidney health. The phosphate additive problem. This is the less known but potentially more damaging component of processed meats for senior kidneys. Food manufacturers add inorganic phosphate compounds to processed meats as preservatives, flavor enhancers, and texture improvers. These include sodium phosphate, potassium phosphate, and polyphosphates, listed in ingredient labels under names that most consumers do not recognize as phosphorus compounds. The critical distinction is between naturally occurring phosphorus, found in whole foods like meat, beans, and dairy, and these added inorganic phosphates. Natural phosphorus from whole foods is absorbed at approximately 40 to 60% efficiency by your digestive system. Added inorganic phosphates are absorbed at nearly 100% efficiency because they do not require the same enzymatic digestion as natural phosphorus. For younger adults with healthy kidneys, this distinction barely matters. The kidneys simply excrete the excess phosphate. But after 65, with declining filtration capacity, excess phosphate accumulates in the blood. An elevated blood phosphate, called hyperphosphatemia, is one of the most damaging conditions for aging kidneys and cardiovascular systems simultaneously. High blood phosphate directly damages the endothelium, the inner lining of blood vessels, accelerating the arterial calcification I discussed in my video on leg circulation. It also triggers a hormonal cascade that further stresses kidney tissue, and it is directly associated with accelerated kidney function decline in older adults. A study published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that adults over 65 with the highest phosphate additive intake, primarily from processed meats and packaged foods, showed kidney function decline at twice the rate of those with the lowest intake over a 5-year follow-up period. The nitrite problem: processed meats are preserved with sodium nitrite, a compound that prevents bacterial growth and gives deli meats their characteristic pink color. Inside the aging digestive system, nitrites are converted to compounds called nitrosamines, which have been shown in multiple studies to be directly toxic to renal tubular cells, the cells lining the filtering tubes of your nephrons. The safe alternative: fresh, unprocessed protein, a chicken breast cooked at home, fresh fish, a portion of beans or lentils, hard-boiled eggs. These provide the protein your muscles need without the sodium loading, inorganic phosphate additives, or nitrites of processed meats. If you love sandwiches, Roast a chicken breast at the beginning of the week and slice it yourself. You get the convenience of deli meat with none of the kidney-damaging additives. Food 2. Dark colas and phosphate-loaded sodas. Many seniors have already reduced their soda consumption based on general health advice about sugar and calories. But the specific kidney concern with dark colas, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and similar dark-colored carbonated beverages, goes beyond sugar content, and it affects diet versions just as significantly as regular versions. Dark colas contain phosphoric acid, a compound added specifically to create the sharp, tangy taste that distinguishes cola from other sodas. Phosphoric acid provides a rapidly absorbed dose of phosphate with every serving. A standard 12-ounce can of cola delivers approximately 40 to 60 milligrams of phosphoric acid, which translates to a rapid phosphate load that aging kidneys must process. On its own, this amount might seem manageable. But cola consumption in seniors rarely occurs in isolation. It is combined with the phosphate additives in processed foods, the natural phosphorus in protein foods, and the declining filtration capacity that makes phosphate clearance slower after 65. The cumulative phosphate burden builds throughout the day. But the phosphate issue is only part of the dark cola kidney problem. The second mechanism is more direct and more alarming. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Epidemiology followed over 3,000 adults, including a significant population over 60, who consumed 2 or more dark cola beverages per day. After controlling for diabetes, hypertension, and other kidney risk factors, they found that 2 or more daily colas were associated with a doubling of chronic kidney disease risk, a 100% increase, from beverages that millions of seniors drink without a second thought. The researchers identified the combination of phosphoric acid, caffeine, which acts as a mild diuretic that can contribute to dehydration and reduce kidney perfusion, and the fructose content of regular colas as a triple mechanism of kidney stress that is compounded by the reduced filtration capacity of aging kidneys. Importantly, this association was specific to dark colas. Clear sodas, lemon-lime beverages, ginger ale, club soda did not show the same association. The phosphoric acid content of dark colas appears to be the primary differentiating factor. The safe alternative: sparkling water with a squeeze of fresh citrus, which actually has a mild kidney protective effect because the citrate it provides inhibits kidney stone formation. Herbal teas, particularly hibiscus tea, which research has shown can modestly reduce blood pressure, or plain filtered water with cucumber, mint, or berries for flavor. These alternatives give you the refreshment and the bubbles if you enjoy carbonation without the phosphoric acid burden. Food 3. High-dose vitamin and mineral supplements. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning, the one that most surprises my patients. Because most seniors take supplements specifically because they believe they are doing something beneficial for their health. And for many supplements in appropriate doses, that belief is correct. But there is a specific category of supplementation that has emerged as one of the most significant and most overlooked contributors to kidney damage in adults over 65: high-dose vitamin C supplementation. Let me be clear immediately. Vitamin C is an essential nutrient. In food source amounts, it is not a kidney concern for most people. But high-dose supplementation, doses of 1,000 milligrams or more per day, which are commonly sold and widely consumed, creates a specific kidney risk for adults over 65 that most people are completely unaware of. Here is the mechanism. When your body metabolizes vitamin C, ascorbic acid, one of the primary metabolic end products is oxalate, the same oxalate compound I discussed in my video on spinach and heart health. In younger adults with efficient kidneys, this oxalate is filtered and excreted in urine before it can cause problems. In adults over 65 with declining filtration capacity, the oxalate produced from high-dose vitamin C supplementation accumulates in the blood and can deposit directly in kidney tubules, forming calcium oxalate crystals inside the kidney tissue itself. This condition, called hyperoxaluria, can cause direct kidney tubule damage, inflammation, and in severe cases, acute kidney injury. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine followed over 23,000 men for over a decade and found that those who took high-dose supplemental vitamin C had a 1.7 times higher risk of kidney stones compared to those who consumed equivalent vitamin C from food sources. And kidney stones, particularly in older adults with reduced renal reserve, can cause acute kidney injury and permanent reduction in kidney function. But vitamin C is not the only supplement concern. 2 others deserve specific mention for seniors over 65. High-dose calcium supplements, doses of 1,200 milligrams or more per day, which are commonly recommended for osteoporosis prevention, have been associated with increased kidney stone risk, particularly when taken without adequate vitamin K2 to direct that calcium away from soft tissues. A meta-analysis in the British Medical Journal found that calcium supplementation, not calcium from food, but from supplements, was associated with a 17% increased risk of kidney stones across multiple studies. And high-dose nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs like ibuprofen and naproxen, while not supplements, are purchased over the counter and used daily by many seniors for arthritis and joint pain. NSAIDs reduce blood flow to the kidneys by blocking prostaglandins, compounds that normally maintain adequate renal perfusion. In seniors with already reduced renal reserve, regular NSAID use can cause a significant and sometimes irreversible reduction in kidney function. A study from Johns Hopkins found that seniors who used NSAIDs daily for more than 3 months showed kidney function decline at a rate significantly greater than those using alternative pain management strategies. The safe alternative for vitamin C. Get your vitamin C from food. Citrus fruits, bell peppers, strawberries, broccoli. Food source vitamin C provides the antioxidant benefits without the oxalate-producing metabolic burden of high-dose supplementation. If you take supplemental vitamin C, discuss with your physician whether your dose is appropriate for your kidney function level. The safe alternative for calcium. Calcium-rich foods, low-fat dairy, fortified plant milks, sardines, kale provide calcium with better safety profiles than high-dose supplements. And if supplements are medically necessary, ensure they are combined with vitamin K2 and vitamin D3 and kept to the lowest effective dose. The safe alternative for pain. Discuss with your physician. Topical NSAIDs, applied directly to the painful area, have significantly lower kidney impact than oral NSAIDs. Acetaminophen at appropriate doses is safer for kidneys than NSAIDs in most seniors. And the movement and nutrition approaches I have discussed in previous videos address the root causes of joint pain rather than simply masking the symptom. Now let me give you the positive framework. The specific steps that actively protect your kidney function after 65 beyond just avoiding the 3 foods I described. Protection strategy 1. Stay consistently hydrated. Your kidneys need adequate fluid flow to function efficiently. Mild chronic dehydration, extremely common in seniors whose thirst mechanism has declined, forces kidneys to concentrate urine and work harder to remove waste. Over time, this increased workload contributes to nephron stress and accelerated function decline. As I discussed in my video on hydration, the goal is consistent moderate hydration throughout the day, approximately 6 to 8 moderate glasses of water, rather than large amounts drunk all at once. Consistent flow supports consistent kidney function. Protection strategy 2. Control blood pressure aggressively. High blood pressure is the second leading cause of kidney disease and the primary accelerator of kidney function decline in seniors who already have reduced function. Every point of blood pressure reduction above 130 systolic meaningfully reduces the pressure on your glomerular capillaries and slows the rate of kidney damage. If you are taking blood pressure medication, take it consistently and as prescribed. Never skip doses because you feel fine. Blood pressure damages kidneys silently, exactly like kidney disease itself. Protection strategy 3. Get your EGFR tested annually. This is perhaps the most actionable recommendation I can give you. Ask your physician to include EGFR, glomerular filtration rate, in your annual blood work. This single number tells you exactly how efficiently your kidneys are currently functioning. And tracking it year over year tells you whether your kidney health is stable, improving slightly, or declining. Information that allows you and your physician to intervene early before significant damage has occurred. An EGFR above 90 is considered normal. 60 to 90 indicates mildly reduced function. 45 to 60 is moderately reduced and warrants dietary modification and closer monitoring. Below 45 requires active nephrology involvement. Most seniors over 65 have never seen this number, and yet it may be one of the most important single measures of your long-term health trajectory. Here is your clear, practical action plan starting this week. Action step 1. This week, check your kitchen and refrigerator. Look at the processed meats you currently have. Check the sodium content per serving and look at the ingredient list for any phosphate additives. If the sodium per serving is above 400 milligrams, or if you see sodium phosphate, potassium phosphate, or any phosphate compound in the ingredients, that product is working against your kidneys. Replace it gradually with fresh alternatives. Action step 2. If you drink dark colas regularly, even diet versions, begin reducing your intake starting today. Replace 1 cola per day with sparkling water and fresh citrus. Within 2 weeks, make that the complete replacement. Action step 3. Look at your current supplement routine. Write down every supplement you take and the dose. Bring that list to your next physician appointment and ask specifically, Given my current kidney function, are any of these supplements a concern? This is a conversation most seniors never initiate, and most physicians never bring up unless asked. Action step 4. Ask your physician at your next appointment to include EGFR in your blood work if it is not already being tested. This single number gives you a baseline and allows you to track your kidney health trajectory over time. Action step 5. Share this video with every senior in your life, because right now they are eating processed deli meats, drinking dark sodas, and taking high-dose supplements with absolutely no awareness of what these specific choices are doing to kidneys that already have less capacity than they did 20 years ago. Your kidneys have been working for you every single day of your life without ever asking for recognition, without ever demanding attention, and without ever giving you any warning that they were struggling until they could no longer keep up. After 65, they deserve your attention before they demand it. The 3 foods I described today, processed meats, dark colas, and high-dose supplements, are not exotic or unusual. They are sitting in kitchens and medicine cabinets across the country right now, and most of the seniors consuming them have no idea what they are quietly doing to kidneys that are already working harder than they were designed to. You now have that information, and you have the alternatives, and you have the action plan. The difference between kidneys that function well into your 80s and 90s and kidneys that require dialysis or transplantation is not primarily genetics. It is not primarily luck. It is the cumulative effect of daily choices made over years and decades. Choices that either protect your kidney tissue or burden it beyond what aging nephrons can sustain. Start with one change this week. Just one. Replace the processed deli meat with fresh chicken. Swap one dark cola for sparkling water. Ask your doctor about your EGFR. One change. Sustained consistently. That is where kidney protection is built. If this video gave you information that your doctor has not yet shared, if it changes even one thing about what you eat or supplement this week, please subscribe to this channel. Every week I bring you exactly this kind of specific, clinically grounded, senior-focused health information. The kind designed to protect the organs and systems that make everything else possible. Hit the like button if this surprised you. Leave a comment below. Were you aware of any of these 3 kidney risks before watching today? I read every single comment, and your answer matters to me. Thank you for watching. Protect your kidneys, because everything else depends on them working.